don't know what's with this uh, darkness. And it looks like something is blocking. Just seems like something is strange. Let me see if I'm seeing that. 1 minute. Something strange. I've got to stop saying it's strange. Maybe it's me. Nope, it's not me. All right, shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah. Something is not right. I'm trying to get that lighting. Now I know exactly what it is here on this end. At least I think I know. I think that was it. All right, all right, all right. And what did I do here? Let's go with here. That's still a little bit too much. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just going to do it like that. I'm just going to do it just like that. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Devil platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely evening in which the Most High Yah has made, and I, Sister Deborah, share, and I will rest therein. Okay, here we go, y'all. We're going to dig in tonight on make it make sense in spirit and in truth. Today I was feeling a certain way, and it had a great deal to do with owning that thing. And when you own that thing, then you better look forward to feeling it. See, once you own it, you feel it, you in there. You know, you got it. This topic is part 2 of Make It Make Sense in Spirit and in Truth. Hello in the live chat. It's good to see you. And we're going to cover something that is hopefully going to kind of help you all out there a little bit with a little something. And I think this time in which we are in is a critical time, but it's not a time that we should be bent up and bent down or worried about, because I believe that the Most High Yah have His already locked in. I believe in what took place before the foundation of the world. I believe that everything that has been from the beginning to the end has been completed. It was completed in the kingdom. Okay, so I believe that. So where we are at today is we just living and thinking we're controlling it. That's really what it is. And it's all where, because you better get your play on now, because where you at and what is actually taking place, believe me, it's going to make more sense to you as time go on. Right now, Everybody's at that point where, hey, I cross that bridge when I get to it. Okay, baby, but I'm going to let you know. The Most High Yah is not going to have a bridge for you to cross. It ain't going to be no bridge. So I want to start off with 1 Peter. And this here is a topic, 1 Peter chapter 4. We're going to start with verse 16. 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 16, 17, 18, and 19. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk, but we want to make some things make sense. Okay? Because a lot of things in this day and time, I know I seem like I'm missing something. A lot of things in this day and time, you really can't find individuals speaking spirit and truth. You really can't find too many people pretty much giving the Father the glory, the honor, and the praise, and taking his prophecies and bringing them forth in such a midnight hour. People are more so glued into trying to give everybody a boost up. Let's put this person up. Let's praise this person. Let's honor this person. Let's hear what this person got to say. But let's hear this. Let's see this. Look at this. Look at that. And guess what, y'all? And it's a sad thing for me to say it, but they ain't nobody telling you, what about y'all? And you don't hear nobody directing nobody to the Most High Yah. It's because they so busy trying to give glory to the flesh of man, to where they don't have the time, because they feel, hey, when if we give glory to him, then we ain't gonna get no likes and subscribers. We're not going to get praise if we give him the glory, or if we talk about his prophecies. That, it ain't gonna get as many likes and subscribers. This is why I told y'all these platforms are the devil platforms, and these people are milking it for all it's worth, and they using. Many of them are using the word God, the word Yah, and many other religions and their way of teaching and preaching and giving insight regarding, I ain't gonna say spirit and truth, they just giving insight regarding what they feel that's going to cause them to. I give them a little something. This will get me some likes. I give them this here. This will get me some likes. Get me some subscribers. And that's what it's all about in this day and time, as far as being on these platforms. So if you're thinking you're going to get something on these platforms, let me tell you, it's not here. It's not here on these devil platforms. So don't get too tied up in it, because it will have you going to and fro. So I want to start with not Matthew's. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 16 and 17, 18, and 19. Let me get my glasses here. These are my old glasses. These new glasses is not doing too well. Okay. Now let's go to 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 17, 16, 17, 18, and 19. One thing I realize is you're not going to hear someone talk about this. And I'm glad that the Father kind of gave me some insight of it, because it truly is food for the spirit. It's not something you give someone at the church or at an academy or at a camp or at a school, or this is not something you're going to get on these devil platforms as well. This is something that I believe they can't even make sense of it, because they have taught so much and have gotten so far away from anything that's come close to what is right. So they just decided, forget all that. Let's talk about what the world needs to know, what the world need to hear. And I'm going to tell you something. I was speaking to you all on 2 occasions about different people are claiming to represent a creator, and they going after the world as if the world is worth going after. I think that's sad. I wouldn't put, if I was who if they were, I mean, if I was them and I'm trying to represent a creator, it's no way I'm going to be on these platforms dealing with the worldly matters in such a midnight hour, such a critical time in life, like no other. They haven't recognized this time period we are in is like no other, you guys. And it seems like people are content. It's like, as long as I can get something out of it, I could care less if it's spirit and truth. I could care less if it has anything to do with the creator. Or I don't have to speak about him, but that's what you started. You started on this road, and you just got all the way off and then decided to go up a hill somewhere. And you're very content. They are very content with that. They're very, very satisfied. What makes them satisfied? In the direction that they have decided to go. Likes and subscribers. And the little check Satan issued them. That made them content. That made them feel that, hey, I can run on this side. See how Satan can just give them just a little something. That's just like the heathens. Now, I ain't gonna say the heathen, the Gentiles and the heathens. They can have melanated people to do anything at a little cost. At a very little cost. Even if it costs them the mother life, their dad life, their kids life, they don't care. These heathens and Gentiles can say something to these people and they would turn flips against their own people in the name of what the Gentiles and the heathens order them to say and do. And that's sad, but what keeps it not sad in my spirit is the Father say, I told you. I told you. And how he says to me that he told me is, you want me to understand these people were like this in a land that they had everything, Deborah. Everything. So do you think that where they at now, it's somebody's actually doing something to them? No, Deborah. These people are the same way they were when they was on the promised land. They're the same people doing the same thing that I took them out of that land from doing. Same people. These are their children who's doing and following the same ways. So let's make sense. We're going to make it make sense what we're about to cover. And we're going to dig in and dive in on some things that many of us haven't even given it a thought or even desire to go this deep. But Sister Deborah going to take you all the way down. Okay. So we're going to come from Peter, 1 Peter. We're going to start with chapter 16. Yet, if any man suffer as a Christian, let him not be ashamed. Yet, if any man suffer as a Christian, let him not be ashamed. In the live chat, what is this about? Yet, if any man suffer as a Christian, let him not be ashamed. Can you see something in that? There's something to see in there. There's a heavy power punch right in there. A very, very noticeable power punch. And then it says, but let him glorify Yah on this behalf. On this behalf. Okay. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. Partaker with Christ. Listen to this. I like that. I like that. Very good. Very, very, very good. But this is the thing. You don't see something out of place? You nailed it. Now I'm going to tell you something. You just clammed on top of this verse right here. You clammed on top of this verse within seconds. Go all the way. Let me see you go all the way. Let's go to verse 16. First Peter, chapter 4, verse 16. Yea, if any man suffer as Christ, as Christian, let him not be ashamed. You just nailed it and don't even know it. What's wrong with that? Let's climb on top of it. You're already on top. Nail it. You got the main course. Come on with it now. Partaker with Christ and suffering. You done already nailed it. Come on, bring it on out. It's a power punch in there. That's supposed to hit you beyond your gut, past your bone marrow, right here. That verse right there. Yeah, you would have, yeah, that's a part of being partaker. But the problem with this verse is the word Christian. You have to be able to see the power of the Roman Catholic smear in that. First and foremost, it says, yet. That don't even make sense. Yet, if any man suffer as a Christian, ain't no Christian suffer. Watch this here. Ain't no Christian suffered, nor can a Christian be recognized as suffering and bypass Yeshua and Hamashiach. Impossible. You can't pass Christ and say suffering of who? That's a known fact that the Roman Catholics smeared that. They added Christian in that first and foremost. But when I get it, the Father say, you see that Y-E-T, yet. That has no business, that has no place, Deborah. If any man suffer as, you hit it, you nailed it, Christ, okay, let him not be ashamed. Christ being suffered, now listen to this, being ashamed cause you suffering? Come on now, that don't make no sense. You get what I'm saying? It don't make no sense. That whole verse out of whack. They wiped that and they told out on themselves. When somebody like me see that, I automatically know, okay, that's him. That's Roman Catholics. They done smeared that real good. And when the Spirit said to me, yet, that he said to me, Deborah, that don't even belong there. So if any man suffer as Christ, let him not be ashamed. Wait a minute. Who gonna be ashamed? Ashamed? Come on now. Shouldn't it be another word there? Why ashamed? Watch this here. But let him glorify Yah on this behalf. Now, how did you get Christians in there? It ain't got no business there. This was this right here verse was so smeared by the Roman Catholic to where many people have used this in the Christian belief and many others. It has no place. That's why you really got to be careful when you read in these books. This is an instructions and a direction book. Only one gonna come teach you out of this book. No man, no woman, no cat, no dog. And that is the Ruach himself, because he's the only one can wipe up what the Roman Catholic has smeared. Only the Ruach of the Creator can go into this book and wipe up what the Roman Catholic has smeared. You see what I'm saying? Because there's no way Sister Deborah's naked eye can look at 1 Peter chapter 16 and think anything near the word of Yah. I couldn't get it. I couldn't get no word out of that because it's got things in it that doesn't make any sense. Who suffered? Well, wait a minute, hold up now. The Messiah did suffer. And you sitting here finna pull up and say Christ? I mean Christian? Wait a minute, hold up. The disciples suffer. You gonna pull up and say Christian? Come on now. suffered, and you gonna pull up and say Christian? I don't think so. Too many people lost their life in the suffering for us to be pulling up saying Christians. It does not make sense. It doesn't fit. So that is 1 Peter chapter 16. That is a smeared verse by the Roman Catholics. See, they didn't think somebody like me would pull up and see that. They really didn't. They don't think like that. Why? You got to understand. For so many years, they got away with it. They got away with it. When do the Christian suffer greater than the prophets and the apostles and Yeshua HaMashiach? You're going to take that and you're going to make it Christians? Come on now. It don't belong there. So with that verse alone, that needs to be wiped out. Somewhere along the line, it looks like to me they inserted words. Because you can actually say, if any man suffer as Christ, like you got it. You see how you got it? Or take as with Christ? Why do they have Christians instead of Christ? You see what I'm saying? Watch this here. Let him not be, how would I say it? I wouldn't even use the word shame. I wouldn't even use the word shame. Because shame shouldn't be being the shame of suffering for Christ. It's not a shame. But it says, but let him glorify Yah on this behalf. Now, if I was to go in it, if any man suffer as Christ, let him glorify Yah on this behalf. That's it. So why the Christian got in there? Why is shame in there? Come on now. That don't even make any sense. That don't make no sense, none whatsoever. This is the sign where you can see where they smeared it. Shame ain't got no business in there. Who be shamed if you suffering? See, that don't even make no sense. Look like you'll be brokenhearted or heartache, trouble, sorrow. But shame? Come on. They did a Rami right there. They made a plainless scene that they went in and they smeared that verse. Okay. Now, when you get to verse 17, it says, for the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of Yah. Okay. Now, what's sad about this is I have to ask the question. What is and what does it mean when it says, for the time is come that the judgment must begin at the house of Yah? First and foremost, we're going to bypass everything outside of the house of Yah. What do that mean? The house of Yah. What is the house of Yah? And what do they mean when they say at the house of Yah? For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of Yah. All right, all right. You're right with both of them. But when they speak of the house of Yah, they speaking of something. And even though it's like unto the chosen one, it's like unto the body of Christ. What is the house? No, the house. For the time is come that the judgment must begin at the house of Yah. And it's so, I'm going to tell y'all something. The sad part is about it. All these thousands of years, let's not say thousands, hundreds of years, they never told people about, and they refuse to teach the body of Hamashiach, which is the body of Christ. Now we got to address the house. What is the house? What is the house of Yah? It can be categorized as the chosen ones. It can be categorized as the body of Christ. But what you got to pull the power of what is said. The house of Yah. Right. You getting that? You getting that? We can even consider it to be your body is the temple. So that's real good. Those are really, really good power punching connections. You see what I'm saying? So all of them fitting, but we got to bring down this house. Y'all naming them. Y'all naming all of it. But you got to bring that house down, because in this day and time, we got to make sense of this. Dwelling, you pulling it all out, ain't you? Y'all doing really, really good. Really good. Really, really good. And let me explain. Let me kind of help out something. No. Let's go. Okay, now I'm going to stay here. I'm going to stay right here until we nail this. Because this is where Sister Deborah knew about this here when she was a young girl. And by me going to the place, you got to understand Satan got this over here. Okay? He's trying to mimic Yah. Very good. You got the building. Come on, pull it out. Pull the house of Yah out, y'all. Come on with it. Those are categories. The church house. There you go. You got it. The body, which y'all got to understand, the house of God is the church. You can categorize the church as the chosen one. You can categorize them as the body of Christ. You can categorize them as the temple. You can categorize as them the elect. But guess what it is? It is the house of Yah is the church. So when you go to the Christian churches and you go everywhere, first thing they say, oh, he's coming. He's going to deal with the church first. See, they even know that it's a church, but guess what church they thinking? They thinking it's a building. We in trouble. They really believe that the Father is coming after their building. Because within them, they think that the church that is the house of Yah is their brick building, where their pastors at and their members. That is not the church, y'all. That is not the house of Yah. Okay, so when you get to 1 Peter chapter 17, it says, for the time is come that the judgment must begin at the house of Yah. So yesterday I was giving you all some insight, as well as a few days ago, about how people are so dedicated. You got prophets, you got prophetess, you got watchmen, you got seers, you got Moorish, you got pastors, you got them all out here clamming on the world. They up all in the world business. They out here trying to tell the world something. If they can only see who the world is. They don't know who they are. Because one sign is when you are serving the world and you feel it's better to manifest the world, the word of Yah. But see, that shows you they don't have the word. Because what they're doing is the house of Yah is a warning to who? This sister here. This is telling me, I'm coming for you. I'm going to clean your trash, your mess up. I'm coming for you. You in trouble. That's what he's saying. I'm the church. I'm in the body of Hamashiach. I am the church, which is the saints. That's who he's coming for. The judgment. Why? Somewhere, I ain't gonna say somewhere. Let me not say that. He knows that he first has to start there. Because there's some trash up and down us. And I don't have no problem. I salute that, Father, y'all. I salute that. Anything in me that does not represent you, Father. Anything in me that does not please your righteous will, Father, judge me. Judge me from the in to the out and the out to the in. So here in 1 Peter, verse 17, for the time is come that the judgment must begin at the house of Yah. And what is that? That's the true church, y'all. And I'm not talking about a building. The church is you. You know how one said the temple where he abide in? That's the church. He's going to deal with us first. And I salute him for that. I give him all honor and praise. So while we're running around, when you get on this devil platform, you hear all these people talking about all this different trash and about attacking those that's so far gone in the world. Now listen to this. If you see somebody in the world and let's say they're living a homosexual lifestyle. The whole world see that they're living an abomination. They live a homosexual lifestyle. Let's just use that for an example. Do you go over there by him and start kicking him? Do you hit him? Do you fight him? Do you go up on him and try to bring him already down? How can he go any lower than where he's at? How? And why would y'all send Sister Deborah to bring somebody that's already down any lower than they already reside? He ain't sending his. He ain't sending his church to go out here, whether you are a prophet or a prophetess. He ain't sending you to the world because he already know the world ain't listening to nothing he got to say. He don't have to warn them about nothing. Why? Why do he owe everything to the world and hear the church over here? You got some food? You got some spiritual food? Take it to the church. You got a spiritual warning? Take it to the church. You got some spiritual revelation? Take it to the church. The problem is today, y'all, guess what? They are not the church, and the church is not them. You'll know them by their fruit. And this sister, if it was so, it would fool, if it were, the very elect. And I am truly elect not to be fooled and taken by this nonsense on these devil platforms. No food, no encouragement, no hope, no warning, no nothing is going to the church. They out here like clowns feeding the world. So let's say, here you go. Let's take somebody. Let's take Puff Daddy. He gone. He gone. What do it look like? I'm pulling up, making videos about his homosexual lifestyle, what he done to people, how he done it, and when he done it, and who he sued. These are sick people, y'all. They are no better than Puff Daddy himself because they desire pleasure in chaos. I had to break that down to a man today, because I told him that I have had so many people coming to me with this high level of energy. I don't know if y'all have experienced this here. A very high level of energy people have. And I say energy because you can see it. This sick energy. They get so excited for funerals. Somebody died, or I got to get ready. It's a funeral this week. I'm like, Father, what is going on? He said, Deborah, didn't I tell you so? Didn't I tell you? What did I tell you 2 years ago? They gone. I have ran up on so many people just fascinated about going to funerals. Every time the door is open for a funeral, you see people running to get there. It is high level energy for them to go to a funeral. This is just one situation that you know that the minds of people are gone and their spirit is just wandering in darkness. High level of energy. So excited. Oh, so-and-so died. They don't even have to know the person. They don't have to even know it. That's just how people are so in tune to going to funerals for death. Death, when people die, to go to a funeral. And they'll never enter into a building again. It's just the idea, the energy, the negative energy that they have. This is their pleasure. And y'all might not believe it. I'm talking about the people I've talked to. And I was telling this man today, that's it. Next time I hear all these people come telling me this, or I got a funeral, I'm going to tell them, you know what? Y'all find a lot of energy in that which is dead. This shows you the mindset of people. So here in 1 Peter and verse 17, the house of Yah. This is what Yah is saying to us, y'all. We are the dwelling. We dwell. That is the house where we dwell. It's called the church. We are the church. That's where we dwell. And he says he's going to what? Judgment must. I love that, because that must is a statement that, hey, I'm going to first throw down there. So get ready, get ready, get ready. I'm coming there first. Watch this here. Begin at the house of Yah. And if it first begin at us, you see, he telling you, that's just, what shall the end be for them that obey not the gospel of Yah? Now, here we go again, y'all. Listen to what this says. And if it first begin with us, the church, the true church, what shall the end be for them that obey not the gospel? What is the gospel? What is the gospel? What is the gospel? Anybody? Anybody? What is the gospel? What is the gospel? 1 Corinthians, right? Verse 17, it says, for the time is come that the judgment must begin at the house of Yah. Now, see, when he said that, we're supposed to embrace that. We're supposed to salute that bad boy. I hear you, Father Yah. Anything in me that doesn't represent you in righteous, in what is just and upright and pleasing to you, Father, be thou removed. We should be, this is sort of stuff we should be embracing. We should be looking for that in this day and time. Instead of watching all this stuff that people are saying on these platforms regarding the world. You can't warn the world. How you going to warn the world? Didn't Noah go out And I don't know who he spoke to, but it didn't bring nobody in, did it? Y'all missing it. Only one going to enter in out of all of this turmoil, or the church that he going to judge first. That's it. Ain't nobody else coming. Oh, yeah, all of them lining up. For Buddha to Muhammad to Muslim to Jehovah's Witness, everybody, Christians and Hebrews, and everybody lining up at the door. You know that saying? Everybody want to go to heaven, but nobody want to die. That's a known fact. This is how people are clowning in this day and time, y'all. For real, for real. For real. Now, I need someone to tell me what is the gospel. Okay, somebody said the good news, the spirit and truth for the true church. Okay. Okay, so what is the gospel? I get me a towel. I waste this coffee. What Sister Deborah is doing is making it make sense. First and foremost, I want to let you know tonight, understand, he already let you know, I'm coming for the church. And you best bet it ain't no building. And it ain't those that's in no building. It ain't those that's got an academy and a church they got going on and they likes and their subscribers. That's not what I'm coming for. You want to make some sense of it? He's not coming for that. Those are people following people. They ain't following y'all. They ain't desiring my Father. So what is he coming to judge them for as the church? No, baby. He got his already in the body of Hamashiach. He know who he is. And he ain't out there in this midnight hour warning the world or trying to correct the world with something that they not even corrected with. Okay? I'm still waiting for Christ. Come on now. Come on now, y'all. Come on now. Help this old lady out. Oh, I like that. You are so right. They say that they will die for Christ, but they won't even live for him. That is so true. That is so true. That's what you call truth. That's what you talk. You speaking truth all the way there. That is a really good one. That is a really good one. They say they will die for Christ, but they won't even live for him. Ain't that something? That makes you want to cry inside. If I do that, then y'all gonna really know something going on. Heavens might start to shake. Yep. Repent is owning up to our unrighteousness. Though he died, his death of Yeshua resurrect by the power, the Christ. Yes, so there you go. See, you went all over there, but you had the answer right there. The power we know is Christ. Guess what? I asked, where's my paper? I say, what is it says here, 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 17. And if it first began with us, which is the church, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel? Ooh-wee. You got it, but we got to pull them up right. Let's pull them up right. Verse 17. Obey not the gospel of Yah. Come on now, pull it on up. Pull it on up. What is the gospel? Anybody? And keep his commandments. That's it. That's good. That's good. Okay, here we go. 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 17. It reads, "For the time is come that the judgment must begin at the house of Yah." So we understood that the house is not a building. The house is the church. And the church has who over it? The power. Who is the power? Christ. And who is Christ? The head. How about that? How about that? So it continued. And if the first began at us, which is the house, which is the church, that's where? Under Christ, which is the head of the what? The body. And the body is who? The church, which is what? The house of Yah. Now, what we're lacking is something so powerful. And I want to leave this with you all. If I never, ever, 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 ever left anything in your spirit, always remember this. The word and the power works together. You can't see the word without the power. And you can't see the power without the word. So he says here, what shall the end be for them that obey not the gospel? The gospel is the power of the word. That's what the gospel is. It's the power of the word. It says, what shall the end be of them that obey not? They got to obey something. The word with the power behind it. Ooh-wee! Ooh-wee! We're going to get in trouble tonight. We're going to be in trouble. We're in trouble. Let's go to Matthew 24. No. First and foremost, let me go to Romans chapter 1 and 16. Let's see what Paul want me to pull up with, because I got a feeling that he got some something up here. Paul chapter 1. I always love how he pulls it up. Oh, I love how Paul come up. He pull all the way up. Paul in verse 16, he said, I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. Now, why it's in here, 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 16, talking about Christians being ashamed. What do you got to be ashamed of? Who are you? And who put you there? That was put in there by the Roman Catholic, y'all. That don't belong in there. But here it is. Romans chapter 1, verse 16. I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. There it is. The gospel is the word that's backed up by the power. And what does it say? For it is the power of Yah. 99 trillion don't know that the gospel is the word that's backed up and backed down by the power. In Genesis chapter 1, everything that he created, he spoke the word, and the power of who he is brought it forth. It's no way y'all could have just spoke it. No, he wanted us to know that the power was bringing everything he spoke forth. That's where we miss the power, y'all. That's where we miss Christ, is in the beginning. If you don't have the beginning packed down in Genesis 1 and 2, you miss this whole book. And this is why all the churches, all the camps, the academy, the schools, the scholars, they missing it. Why? You only can get this through the Spirit, y'all. You can't get this just walking up in some place and saying, I want to get a degree and I want to learn. I want to know Hebrew. Hebrew can't bring you forth power of the word. You can't do it. Paul's sitting here telling you, verse 16, I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. They're the gospel, the word of the power. He just named it out. He just laid it straight out. Now watch what he said. For it is the power of Yah. That's what the gospel is. And 99 trillion don't know that. That's sad. But it's all well. It's well. Because he says finished, Deborah. They ain't nothing they need to know now. Now they finna see a different kind of power. But this one ain't going to have that mercy and grace and let them get away with it. Oh, no. It's tribulation time. It's judgment time. It's wrath time. Okay? So what happens? Here go Paul telling you what the gospel is. But then when I said, okay, let me pull up in Matthew 24. Wait a minute, Yeshua, you're going to be coming pretty soon, ain't you? Yeshua, you're coming pretty soon. Yeah, but this got to take place, Deborah. What is this going to take place, Yeshua? Matthew 24, verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom, oh, praise the mighty Yah, shall be preached in all the world for a witness. So it's showing you what? This word and power going to show up and show out, and it's everybody going to witness it. There it is. And it's called what? The gospel of the kingdom shall be preached unto all the world for what? A witness. You got to witness it. So it's got to be something you see. That power going to pull up with the word and show out. And then what's going to happen? It's going to pull up and show up to all nations, and then shall the end come. Woo-wee! That's what the gospel is. And did you know right now, when I was coming up, they would tell you the gospel is the good news. Sit your tail down. You didn't talk that for 1,000,000 years. Now, I ain't gonna say 1,000,000 years, but you didn't talk that for so long, people still believe me. But he said, if it were so, my own elect will be fooled. But because I haven't suffered them to be fooled by this nonsense out here of these that are leading and teaching and preaching. So in 1 Peter, First Peter, verse 17, here we go. We covered the house is the church. He's letting you know I'm coming for you. He's letting us know. He's coming to judge you, devil. Oh, yes, I am. I'm coming to get you straight. All right? And then he sits and said, and those, just imagine those that obey not that word with that power. Verse 18, and if righteous scarcely be saved, see, you see who that righteous is? You see who that righteous is? Who is that? That's the church. That's the righteous ones. It's the church. They also called saints. They're the righteous one. Okay. Verse 18. And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? Huh? Verse 19. Wherefore let them that suffer according to the will of Yah commit the keeping of their spirit to him in well-doing as unto a faithful creator. This is what he's telling us we should be doing. This is what we should be doing. Wherefore let them that suffer according to the will of Yah commit the keeping of their spirit to him in well-doing as unto a faithful creator. See, you guys, why these people on these platforms clowning at their highest, and they thinking because they getting likes and subscribers that they all that and some, and don't realize, baby, you serving Satan. You cannot be called in this day and time and think it's about worshiping the world, going out, serving the world and wanting the world. You're supposed to be talking to the body of Hamashiach. Where's the food for them? Where's the nourishment? Where's the unity? Where's the righteous in what you're doing? So where they at is where they need to be. They need to be out here doing exactly what they're doing. And then they try to lift up another. Because when one say something one like, they now wants to lift up another one because they saying what they like to hear. Not knowing that they don't even play in the same ballpark. But they don't care. As long as you saying something that they want everybody to hear, they'll keep on trying to lift you up because you are matching what they want to say. And not understanding they ain't saying nothing about y'all. They just talking about the world. Okay, so now what? When you get to 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 19. In 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 19 and 20, it reads, for this is thankworthy if a man for conscience toward Yah endure grief, suffering, and wrongfully. See, this is what I was explaining to you all. People wants to walk around. They don't want no endurance. They don't want no grief. They don't want no suffering. And they don't want no wrongfully anything done to them. But when you are of the church of Yah, the house of Yah, these things going to come upon you. Why would Yeshua come to be an example to us and we feel nothing, but he felt it all? Do that make any sense? Why is it we not supposed to feel anything? Everything's supposed to be just peachy keen and all good, but yet he suffered many things. What example would he be if we don't have to endure anything? So listen to this. In 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 19, it reads, for this is thankworthy if a man for conscience toward Yah endure grief, suffering, and wrongfully. These are the things you should be experiencing. Sister Deborah's not saying every day, every hour, every minute. No, that's not what I'm saying. But these things you should feel. You should be feeling these things happening to you for no reason at all. But you know that these things are happening. And you ain't done nothing to no one. These things are just happening, just as it happened to Yeshua. These things will come upon you when you have a conscience toward Yah. That's where you know you're in the body of Hamashiach, the church. Nobody bothering you. You just on here just getting your likes and your subscribes and everything's good and dan, and you just talking to the world. You're doing good. The world loves its own. And it's going to support its own. So verse 20 says, for what glory is it if when ye be buffed for your faults, yea, ye shall take it patiently. But if when ye do well and suffer for it, ye take it patiently. This is acceptable with Yah. So he's letting you know you're going to go through something and to walk around as if there's no, I ain't going through nothing. A lot of people, let me set an example. A lot of people think that being famous or being known and being somebody makes them the perfect will of Yah. I'm going to be honest with y'all. A lot of them do. A lot of them see themselves as, oh, I'm this and I'm that because I'm famous, or I'm good at this, or people love me, people praise me, people honor me. You know, they take that and they look at that and they say, well, okay, I'm in there. I ain't got nothing to worry about as long as everybody loves me. And they don't understand. There are some things that those that represent Yah are going to go through. And the thing about going through it, you got to feel that thing, y'all. We have to be able to feel that thing. This is not about living from A to Z in our sick mind and not feeling no endurance at all. So there's things in our life that and honestly, a lot of it is to make us who we are today, a better person. We can take a lot. We can endure a lot because of these things happening to us. But he's letting you know, if you got a conscience of Yah, these things are going to happen. So don't think that you excluded because you in the body or you in the church. No. Yeshua wasn't excluded. He was included in enduring many things to show us that we too can beat this. We can come out victorious. We can come out of this. So that's the good thing about it. But I want to go to Ephesians chapter 2 and 21. In Ephesians chapter 2 and 21. So to make it make sense, we are the church. So all this time you hear a lot of them thinking the house of Yah is the house of Israel. You're going to learn tonight something you never knew. I'm going to make it make sense so you can understand when Yah comes. He's coming for the church, as I told you, in Israel. He's pulling that one out. He's not taking Israel up out of here. And I don't blame him. I think Israel needs to rest right here, and Judah need to rest where they're at and let them get a taste all the way to the end. Because I believe that 400 years was enough time for us to have gripped the Ruach in some way or another. And here it is. We are past the 400 years and we walking around like we ain't never known the Holy Spirit because we out here trying to capture the world. Because the world fed us all these platforms and we out here trying to catch them and get as many people we possibly can to tune in to us talking about the things of the world. The world loves its own, so that's why it talks about it. And it has no food, no spiritual food for nobody because they have no spiritual food. So what? They have every right to be about the world. And this is what they bring forth on all these other platforms. Okay, now listen to this. Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 21. 2 and 21. In Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 21. In whom all the building fitly framed together groweth unto an holy temple in the Lord. Listen to this. In whom all the building fitly framed together groweth unto a holy temple of Yah. He's talking to the church. That's that house he was talking about, the house of Yah. That's why it's called in verse 21, Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 21, in whom all the building fitly, where am I at? Framed together, groweth unto a holy temple. A holy temple in Yah. Now watch this here, verse 22. In whom ye also are built together for an habitation of Yah. Through the what? Spirit. That's the church, y'all. When he says the house of Yah, that's the church. He's giving you an insight of the church. That's how it's formed. And that's in Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 21. And then you go to 1 Timothy. 1 Timothy chapter 3 and 15. In 1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 15, it reads, but if I tarry long, that thou mayest know how thou ought to behave thyself in the house of Yah. In the house of Yah, which is the church. There you go. Which is the church of the living Yah. So what were we talking about? In 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 16, 17, 18, verse 16 and 17. 17, when he said the house of Yah, it is the church of the living Yah, the pillar and the ground of truth. That's the church, y'all. So when he's saying that, he's not talking about Israel. He's not talking about Judah. See, they so bent up and down with this found religion they have. They made up and they cranked up and they made it fit to be something to a lot of, I say 10% of melanated people here in the United States. They fell for it. But it's only 10%. The other 90% is in the Christian church, the Catholic church, a Muslim, and everything else. They're everywhere. They ain't even thinking about a church, nor the body of Hamashiach, nor the saints. They ain't even thinking about nothing like that. But here in 1 Timothy chapter 3 and 15, it reads, but if I tarry long, that thou mayest know how thou ought to behave thyself in the house of Yah, which is the church of the living Yah, the pillar and ground of truth. You see that? That's what the church is. That's what the house is when you hear them saying house. It's the church. And it ain't a church built with bricks. So you got all these Christians thinking they church and they building. You got all these Hebrew Israelites in their camps and they pastors in their church. You got all these people at home thinking they having church on YouTube. That is not the church, y'all. So you can walk your tails out here day and night and day for the rest of your life thinking church is on this devil platform. You's a liar, and the truth ain't looking for you to be anything true, because that's a lie. They got people thinking, because they teaching and they throwing some crumbs to you, that they are somebody in the body. They don't understand. You can't be in the body in the world too. You can't be up on these devil platforms waiting for Satan to give you a check so you can keep on making videos for the world, feeding the world. Why would y'all send anybody in such a midnight hour to go feed the world a warning? Does that make sense? It don't make sense. He's not going to send nobody out here to be feeding the world warnings. He already know who's who and what's what in the kingdom. He know what hour we're in. Why? Because when you're feeding the world, you're still forsaking him. He didn't pour it up with revelation, and y'all still over here trying to tell the world and warn the world, y'all doing this, they doing it, they doing it. Wait a minute. Where's the food for the spirit? You want to baptize? Oh, I can baptize. Oh, see, everything that has to do with the flesh, they want to please. But when it come down to the spirit, the true church, they don't want to be near you. They don't want to be near you, and they don't have no right by you no way. So they about right. They about right. Because they ain't got no business near you no way. They're right where y'all wanted them to be in this midnight hour. So I like that, because in 1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 15, it tells you what the house was when he said he's going to come to the house first. He's going to judge the house. And that, I think that's beautiful, because what he's saying, I'm going to correct minds. That's what he's saying. That's who the house is. I'm only going to correct minds first. Then I come to the other. And the Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites, especially the men and the women as well, but they really believe they're the house. They are the house of Israel. You're not the house, baby. Oh, Deborah, you're going to get yourself in some trouble. You're going to be in trouble. You're not the house, Israel. The house is the church. And it belongs to the body of Hamashiach. It is not the house of Israel. See how they get all that confused, and they make it to be exactly the way they want you to believe it. But we're going to cover that tonight, about a lot of that. Watch this here. So let's go to, let me see here. What's the next one? Now, here it is. Let's go here to Hebrew chapter 8. Now, we're going to kind of jump over something. We're going to kind of jump over something here. But you know what I didn't do? I didn't need to, though. I wanted to cover what the gospel was. And I'm going to tell y'all, I think it's really sad. I think it's very sad. And when I think of it, it kind of makes me really sad from the inside, because I realize that people don't understand the gospel. They don't understand what the power is. They don't understand what the word. But I, Sister Deborah, must understand this need be, Deborah, that they don't understand. This need be. This need be. And like I get on here and I want to do this thing about make it make sense in spirit and truth. He said, this need be. Because it ain't going to make no sense to them. But it's going to make sense to those who are of the body of Hamashiach. You're giving them food, Deborah. You're not out here trying to give the world food. You're not out here trying to prove to the world, when you doing this, you doing this. It says this. It says this. It says, and when you finish, they done read it more than you have. They are the serpent seed. They ain't trying to get with the spiritual seed. They know where they at. They know what they doing. They know what they saying. They know how they acting. They know what they accepted. So what makes you think you the clown that he sunned down to convince the world? The world sitting here loving its own and doing its own thing. We as the church are to be feeding the house of Yah. But what I'm understanding, there are those that are out there portraying that they are the house, y'all. That's what he's saying to my spirit. He said, Deborah, they are out here portraying they are the house. And this is how they're capturing many people. This is how they're drawing them and winding them in, because they are portraying the house. They got them thinking and feeling, and look, I'm spiritual. I'm holy than thou. I'm a woman or a man of Yah. But you can tell them by their fruit. What is the fruit? You can hear what they serve, y'all. You can know what they serve and what they teach, because when they on here over and over and over, their topic is always about what's going on in the world. They will cover the world 80 to 90% and throw crumbs on Sabbath. He said this is talking about, and we're going to talk about Yah now. These are people that themselves don't even understand that they are serpent seeds, because they're chasing fame. They're chasing a few dollars. They're chasing likes and subscribers. They're chasing praise. These are the ones you know them by their fruit, because their fruit don't feed the body of Hamashiach. It feeds the world. That's their fruit. The world what? Loves their own. That's why they got to feed the world, because they love their own. But where they deceiving and over near the light is when they got you thinking, oh, I talk about the world. I bring all the topics on the world. I cover the world, and I throw a few crumbs on Sabbath, so people can think I'm in there. Dangerous game, y'all. Dangerous game. I would not waste my time on this devil platform giving the world, giving Trump no airtime of nothing. Don't you see Biden? You see Trump? You see TD Jakes? You see, they get all everybody's platforms. That's the world. How could that be? Because the people that's putting them on here trying to manifest likes and subscriber, they are of the world in sheep clothing, and got the great, not the great fall away, because they already fell away, but they got the multitude going straight through the broad gate. And guess what? They don't even know. Y'all gonna hold them liable for every last one that you led through the broad gate. How about that? If they came your way, okay, they gonna go where you going. That's gonna be the way. Because it's supposed to be going where y'all is, in the bosom of the Father. But they're going in the bosom of the people, liking and subscribing and praising what they're telling them regarding the world. This is also the fruit. Their fruit is what they speak of, how they conduct themselves and what they be talking about. See, a lot of people didn't know that. You'll know them by their fruit. And that is how they conduct themselves. Oh, yeah, they're put on, look holier than thou. They'll put on their fringes and their head wraps and everything. And they'll be looking just as innocent as. But when you finish, what did he say? Sheep clothing, but they are wolves in the inside. That's because they're portraying on the outside one person. But in the inside, they're wolves. And how Sister Deborah know is when they serve the world, they find time to give energy and strength to the world and what the world is doing. Who cares about Trump, about Biden? Who cares about Beyonce? Who cares about Puff Daddy and Jay-Z? Who cares about them to where it's important that they feed and tell you something Yah is saying regarding them? Yah already will let you know already in the spirit that those are serpent seed. You know that. So why would you try to draw them in because you're trying to get the fame? You're trying to use your platform for likes and subscribers. And I just thank the Most High Yah, because this is showing you that they're playing two sides of the fence. That's exactly what they're doing. They're playing two sides of the fence, and they think they got you nailed on one side. Okay, so when I go to Hebrew chapter 8 and verse 8, when I go to Hebrew chapter, I better go there then. I better not use this here. I want to show you something. So many people thinking they just going to pull up. And I'm going to show you something. A lot of people, Hebrew chapter 8 and verse 8 to 12. Oh, my Father Yah, this got a star. Oh, Hebrew chapter 8, verse 8 through 12. And it reads, Hebrew chapter 8, verse 8 through 12. For finding fault with them, he said it, behold, the days come, said Yah, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel. Look at the house. You see the house of Israel? Do y'all see where it says the house of Israel in Hebrew chapter 8 and verse 8? I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Do you know that all these years, the Hebrews really thought when he said the house of Yah and the house of Israel and the house of Judah is the same as the house of Yah? They really thought that. Because they thought that when he says he's coming to judge the house of Yah, they thought that he meant the house of Israel and the house of Judah. That's not what he meant. Not what he meant. You see, but that's the way they think. Now watch this here. Verse 8. For finding fault with them, he said, behold, the days come, said Yah, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when they took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continue not in my covenant, and I regard them not, said Yah. Now see right here, this is what I think is sad. This is where you hear many so-called learned people thinking they scholars, learned. They know this book from back to front, front to back. And they messed up from the flow up, because first and foremost, here in verse 9, he's telling you the fathers that he made a covenant with, They did not. The ones that he took out of Egypt and led them by the hand. By the hand mean I supported them, Deborah. I led them by the hand. That means I supported them out of the land of Egypt, because they continue not in my covenant. They want y'all to run to Torah, but the people in Torah never kept nothing, never obeyed y'all. And this is why it's dangerous running to Torah, because they say go to Torah. Torah can't help you in this day and time, you guys. It is a study guide. Just like all these lost books, it's for you to study. But you have to let the Ruach pull up. The Ruach must have a chance to pull up in you and teach you these things and reveal the truth of the whole matter in spirit and in truth. But if the Ruach don't pull up in spirit and truth, you're just out there playing the same clown role everybody else is. Now here in Hebrew chapter 8, he said, not according to chapter 9, not according to the covenant that I made with their father in the day when I took them by the hand, Deborah, to lead them out of the land of Egypt. Because they continue not, Deborah. They continue not, Deborah. They continue not in my covenant. And I regard them not, said Yah. I regard them not, said Yah. Verse 10, for this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said Yah. I will put my laws in their minds, Deborah, and I will write them in their hearts, Deborah, and I will be to them a Yah, and they shall be to me a people. Understand what he's saying. I will put the laws in their mind. He's talking about his spiritual law, and he's talking about a spiritual mind. And I would write them on their hearts. He's talking about a spiritual heart. He's going to write on. He's talking of spiritual. In their minds and in their hearts. That's a spiritual, y'all. Let's go to Ezekiel. Ezekiel 36. In Ezekiel 36, and let me get to in Ezekiel 36 and verse 26. Listen to what he said now, y'all. Watch this here. A new heart also will I give them, and a new spirit will I put within them. And I will take away that stony heart of their flesh, and I will give them a heart of flesh. What was the first heart? The new heart. That was a spiritual heart. Go back up to Ezekiel 36 and verse 29. A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you. Now, the heart and the spirit is going to be new. They are spiritual, y'all. Now, watch this here. Watch how he separate what he's going to put in you spirit from what he's going to put in you flesh. Ezekiel 36 and verse 26. Here go the spiritual heart. A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you. That's that new heart. Okay? He's putting it in your spirit, y'all. Okay? It's a spiritual heart. Okay? And then it says, and I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh. So Yah is giving us a new spirit with a new heart. He's giving us a new fleshly heart, taking that stony heart, fleshly heart out and putting us a new fleshly heart. You see? So this is what he's saying here in Hebrew chapter 8. When you go up on verse 10, is it 10? Let me see. In 10, it says, for this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, said, Yah, I will put my laws into your minds and write them in your hearts. Okay? And I will be to them a Yah, and they shall be to me a people. After he has done all this to you all. You see what he's going to do to Israel? But let's continue. Let's go to verse 11. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brethren, saying, Know Yah, for all shall know me from the least to the greatest. Verse 12, for I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquity will I remember no more. This is the work of Yah to the church, Yah. I explained to Yah, we are not perfect. We do wrong. We sin. We do many of things that's not pleasing to Yah. But Yah got us already numbered to clean us up, to put and invest that new heart and that new mind in us. When he finished with us, no one is going to be able to teach you. No one is going to come up to you and say, well, it said this, and it said this, and this precept, and this line, it's this, and this. Ain't nobody. After y'all finish with this, he letting you know. Let's read verse 12. No, let's read verse 11. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brethren, saying, Know Yah, for all shall know me from the least of them to the greatest. Why? Because what he put in their mind and in their heart, he put his law in their minds. He put his law in their hearts. See, y'all didn't think he had his own laws. And that's sad. We've been following the flesh of men and women for so long. We have totally forsaken the Creator himself. We have followed flesh and blood for so long. We have strictly forsaken what it is to realize that we are spirit beings as well. Because we've been following flesh after flesh. We never took on following him based on him being the spirit that's lived in us. And we have forsaken all his ways. But I like how he gonna rumble. He said, Deborah, I'm gonna give him a new mind. I'm gonna put my law in their mind, Deborah, and I'm gonna give them a new mind, and I'm gonna give them a new heart. And I'm gonna put this law up in there. Ain't no one gonna teach the other. You don't need to, because I'm gonna be present in you. I'm gonna seal my law in you. Now, see, this is his intent. Because he see that what we've been doing down here ain't been worth a dime. He see that this mess we've been doing on this earth ain't never been right since the beginning of time. That's why he got a ram in the bush. He gonna show up and he gonna show out. And he's sitting here telling you this is what he's going to do to the house of Israel and to the house of Judah. But you got to understand, these are those houses that's in the body of Hamashiach. These are not the house of Israel as you all know it. He's not talking about the house as if all of Israel and all of Judah. No. He's not talking about that house. He's talking about the house that is connected to the body of Hamashiach. Judah and Israel that's in the body of Hamashiach. He's not talking about the whole house of Israel. Do y'all understand what the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah is at today? They're more in the world than the world is in them. But yet he's going to come and get them? No. We all have sinned and come short. Can't now one of us get on these platforms and act like we holy than thou, or we without sin, and we perfect, and we so great, and we so excellent, and we so ugly, and we so ugly. That's who we are. But he got a new thing he's going to pull out. This time he said he's going to write it on your mind and write it in your heart, his law. to the point where ain't nobody going to be trying to teach nobody. This is why it's no such thing yet. When we get to the promised land, it's going to be 7 women to 1 man. Man, your buck stop right here in Babylon, on this earth, and you don't even know it. That's a sad thing to me. But it ain't sad. No, it's not sad. Because I think if he gave you 400 years to grip this thing a little bit, he ain't expecting us to know it all. Like, look at Sister Deborah. He been dealing with me since I was 4 years old. Give or take, I might know AB. I ain't going to sit here and tell you I know no more than that. And I ain't going to make you think I do. But I tell you one thing, it's been a long journey to walk around here and be talking and giving the world the glory and giving the world the honor or giving the world the praise on this platform. I'm not going to do it. He's all that I have, y'all. He's all that I got. He's all that I need. He's all that I want. And all these years since I was 4, he's all that I can speak about. I can't speak about nobody else outside of him. He's proven himself to me since I was 4. Why would I get on this devil platform and give the world the glory? Why would I want to get on this devil platform knowing what midnight hour we are in and want to make you think that Donald Trump, Biden, and Beyonce and Puff Daddy and them is more important than me trying to talk to the body of Hamashiach? If I can't sit and give food in spirit and truth to the body of Hamashiach, guess what? I don't want to give food to the world because the world don't know how to digest it. They don't even know how to eat it. They don't even know how to take it in. But I tell you one thing they know some of that truth. They know some of that truth. They know more truth than these fools out here trying to minister to the world. You can't minister to the world. You can't. You got to go after the light. You got to try to find where the light is at so you can get with it. Oh no, these people out here trying to find darkness. Where I can get darkness, I can get fame, I can be known, I can get subscribers, I can get likes. Because I want to work, I want to talk about what the world want to talk about. I want to be what the world want to be about. And that's their mentality. But they are talking on these devil platforms in sheep clothing. But he warned us. He warned us. But here in Hebrew chapter 8, that was Hebrew chapter 8. I lost my page. Now watch this here. In Hebrew chapter 8, he was talking about it sounds really good, y'all. It's going to be a time where you ain't going to have to listen to nobody come talking about when it said this, it said that. He saying nobody going to teach you because it's going to be in you already. The law of who I am going to be in you. See, this is what I try to tell y'all. All these laws that they want to pin you down with, they need to get somewhere and clown with them somewhere. Open up a circus. Because those laws don't mean nothing when the Ruach, the creator of all laws, rests in you. He's going to get you right one way or another. So how dare you make people think it's about what you say exceed what the Holy Spirit that living in you is teaching you and leading you and guiding you with. And I'm going to tell you why they get away with that. I'm going to tell you why they get away with it. Because the truth be told, guess what, y'all? 99.9 of them don't have the Holy Spirit. Because if they had him leading them, they would know how they must speak to you and how they should lead word of wisdom and knowledge and understanding in the spirit of truth into you and not to the world. And because they know they don't have the Ruach, but they can fake it to make it look like they got it. Because nobody know. Nobody know. Why? Because nobody challenged them. It's just like the world. Nobody tell them, wait a minute, water is free. Why are we paying for it? Why y'all taking money out of my check every pay period and every year? That don't make any sense. That don't make at the end of the year. If I work in labor, why are you taking my money from me? And a lot of people, what got me, this is the main one that got me, is when I applied for my ex-husband's his retirement. I helped him with his paperwork, that sort of thing. Looked at this thing and I said, wait a minute, hold up. What are they talking about? You got to pay for health care. What's this stuff? Part A and Part B. You turn around giving me my retirement and taking it right back. Oh, let me tell y'all something. Only thing I do, I run straight to the altar. And I said, Father, wait a minute, hold up. He said, Deborah, calm down. This stuff need be. This need be. I'm like, but Father, how Deborah. I'm like, what they did? How can they do that? How you know this man didn't work? You done took Medicare and Medicare and Social Security, and what else out? And local taxes, federal taxes. And when he retired, ain't no such thing as retire. Because you're still taking the money that he's going to get when he retired. And they push the age up to keep you from living to get it. Why are they doing that? And then if you die, guess who gets your money? Your kids can't get your money. It goes back to them. That don't make sense, y'all. It don't go to your wife. No, it doesn't. Because she got her own retirement. So you can either take her retirement. Watch this, y'all. Say, for instance, if him and I was still married. If he passed away, I can start getting his retirement or get mine, one or the other. Who end up with the other money? If I decide to keep my own retirement, who gonna end up with all them years he didn't work? Paid Social Security and Medicare, and paid all that money. Who gonna end up with that? The system, y'all. The system. It is so much crookedness this country has rest therein. To the Father says, oh, Deborah, you just got to live to see it. I said, I'm going to be living to see that stuff, Father. Yeah, am I going to be living? He won't tell me. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. I tell him this. When I come from the wilderness, we say, Father, they ain't seen that. They don't know that's finna come. They don't know that's happening. But it is what it is. He said, what? These things need be, Deborah. These are the things, you all, when we were focusing and not paying attention to the 400 years and where we were at, so that we can sit and say and educate not only our younger children, but our teenagers and our young adults should have known something. Right today, they don't know nothing. They still don't know nothing because we won't share it with them. We won't tell them the truth of the matter. And you come telling them now, they don't even want to hear it. That can't be true. Too much to handle. But the heathens and Gentiles knew it all the time. All this stuff that they're doing where they got you paying tax for everything you buy, everything you drink, everything you do, even the air, pretty soon they're going to be charging you to breathe. Oh, they ain't going to worry about charging you to breathe. I forgot they already putting chemicals in that. A lot of y'all don't know it. Yeah, they be flying through your air, through your you don't know it, but that's what that stuff is. I hear these scientists. I don't know if y'all know it. A lot of them then got together during that pandemic, and it used to be 800. I think it's in the thousands now. It's scientists and doctors. They trying to figure out all this stuff. Now they know. They know now, y'all. A lot of them, they end up closing their hospitals and their clinics now. They was closed down. But a lot of them decide not to reopen it because once they saw what happened during that pandemic, they were fully awakened. I sit back on this platform and I try to understand how is it that the heathens and Gentiles can say whatever they want on these platforms, but the moment we as the tribe of Judah or melanated people say something, they want to cut us off. When they got my number, cut me off or cut me on, it don't matter. This country is doomed. But I ain't going to sit here and waste my time with my life telling it it's doomed. It knows it's doomed. And for you to be wasting your time pretending you worshiping Yah to warn them about how doomed it is, I'd rather warn the body of Hamashiach how close we are, where we at, where we stand. than to go out here thinking I'm one in this world. And this world telling me, you ain't telling me nothing. We hate you mention it because we knew that way back before we even brought y'all tales over here. We knew it. We was planning all this from the beginning. We don't need you to tell us. And this is where the error is at. People keep saying, oh, we getting out of here. We getting out. Well, why ain't you preparing like you getting up out of here? Why are you feeding the world? Why are you feeding the world? Why ain't you over here with the saints, the church, the body of Hamashiach, where the power is at? Oh, no, you don't want to come over here because you a wolf in sheep clothing. You need to stay over there where you think that check is going to supply you some energies to go to the kingdom, but it ain't going to work like that. People do not understand you're going to be held liable for all those people that followed and you wasn't taking them nowhere. Let's take, for instance, Deborah got, say, 200 buses. And all I'm taking them to is the highest mountain to go over the cliff. All 200 buses full of people. And they riding like they having a good time. They riding like they traveling. They having a good time. When that's how this devil platform is. It's taking people for a high ride up a stiff mountain. And they're going to go over. While they dealing in this mess on these platforms. Because these things are not feeding your spirit. That's what you need, the energy. Do you know your spirit is what's going to get the victory when all this chaos kick off? Did y'all know that? That's what's going to give you the strength. Your spirit man is going to give your flesh the strength to run on in whatever's going on this earth. Now, it's going to give you that strength. You ain't going to fear. You ain't going to be worried. Hey, you just going to be going on and you're going to know truth. Because truth going to know you. It's going to be in you. And it's going to be telling you, go this way, go that way, do this and do that. Don't go back that way, go this way. You see what I'm saying? You ain't going to have no YouTube, no cell phone. How you going to know the way? You're going to have to know the way from he that is the way that rests within you, not on the outside of you, because we don't know the way. He is the way. But he has to deal with you from the inner man, not the outer. So if you want to let your flesh have dominion over your spirit, you go right ahead. They already got y'all screwed up with soul. Soul ain't even got no business in there. Only one could have put that in there is the Roman Catholics. To keep you from understanding, focus on flesh and spirit. That's what it says. That's what it says. Oh, no, we got a soul. He ain't saying nothing to you. He gave you a middleman. The Roman Catholic put that in there. So you will never figure out that you are simply spirit and flesh. Soul ain't got nothing coming. Never did and never will. There was a young man that also showed us where it said Yah had a soul. I'm like, see how cuckoo clock they are? But they go on throughout life. Look at the Catholics. Look at the Christians. Look at the Hebrew Israelite. Let me tell you something else. Say, for instance, there's 100 million melanated people here in the United States of America. Do you know out of the 100 million, you might have 200, give or take, Hebrew Israelites who say that they are Hebrew Israelites? What is that? Come on now. You see, that's how small of a number there is of those who thinking that the house of Yah, not knowing that you ain't nothing. See, they're thinking, and they have these charts with all the 12 tribes. What's the sense of having the 12 tribes and the other 11 don't give a rest behind who you are? And Judah, how could Judah be out here hooping and hollering? And your father Jacob said you weren't going to be doing a doing thing. Exactly what you're doing. No one's looking at spirit and truth of the whole matter. They're not even making it make sense. Because they have won so many people over with believing that it's the way that they're teaching them from these books. And I think it's a sad thing, y'all. I think it's, I'm going to get off of here, but I'm going to say this. This is what I think is sad. When the creator is the word and the books is the study guide, they are words. He's telling you to study this here until I come. But when I pull up, I'm going to be your true teacher. I'm going to teach you all things. But don't you put your trust in no man. I'm going to teach you all. Put your trust in no man. Why? Because he knew that this is an inner man thing where he going to come in you and teach you all things. So that leads me to understand, wait a minute, Father, y'all, hold up, Father, y'all. If you're going to be the teacher from the inside, what is this on the outside of me? That the flesh of men and women teach you. He said, Deborah, that's the words. I am the word. So therefore, we've been running around here chasing all these books, trying to justify, clarify, and identify we this and we that and we this and we that. We had it wrong all the time. The only thing I hate about it, 400 years and still ain't got it right in such a midnight hour. In such a midnight hour. Why we won't give him the glory? Why we won't give him the power? It's his anyway. What you gonna do with it? What can you do with it? You can't. Because it's not given to you. So what's the deal? He created all that and nobody saw his power. He said, Deborah, in the beginning was the word, and the word was with me. The word is me. It was with me in the beginning. He began to speak the word, and his power poured it up. Everything the word said, the power brought it forth. We won't even give him the power. And then I'm sitting here looking at this Bible, and I'm sitting here saying, well, who is this hand? Who is this stretched out arm? Who is this right hand? And I'm saying all this about this right hand is stretched out arm. I said, wait a minute, this in here a good 500 times. What is this doing in here? He said, Deborah, that's me. I said, wait a minute, hold on, Father, y'all. I already knew you was Christ, but wait a minute. Who is this right hand? Who is this us? He said, that's me. That's me. I am the word. And when the word is spoken, my power pull up what I tell it to bring up. They missed me way back in the beginning. They're going to miss me in the end because I ain't going to show up for it. The power has been denied along with the word. That's what you call the gospel of the kingdom. We missed it again. The Father is saying for 400 years we had time. That's a lot of years, y'all. We can sit here and say we came on slave ship. We can say whatever we want. 400 years is a long time, y'all. For us to still be no, not even one step further. Said the Most High, y'all. Not one step further. But this is what's strange to me. This is what's strange to me. How did the heathens and the Gentile pull up truth? How did they pull up truth? How did the heathens and the Gentile pull up with truth, y'all? Why did they? We're wheeling on in there. Let's pull up truth. How did they do that? How were they able to pull up truth? Look, all these years they did movies based on truth. How did they do that? And we pulled up. We the Hebrew Israelites, the 12 tribes. We the children of the Most High Yah. We the true Jews. You the true fool. And don't know it. But that hour is at hand. And you finna find out who he was talking about all the time. He ain't gonna pull up the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah. We so worried about the whole house and don't even understand the house is not all in the United States. So why aren't you worried about your own tribe, Judah? Why can't you be worried about that? Because if you're worried about Judah, guess what? The other 11 tribes will kick in. See, they didn't know that. 99.9 don't know nothing about it. If you want to make sense of it, Judah was the one All them women was having them babies and warring against each other, having babies after babies after babies. Just imagine what their mindset was. Trying to catch up with one another. One having one having, take my handmaid, take her babies, lay with them. And you gonna tell me that was righteous in y'all's eyes? No, it ain't. Y'all got a permissive will. And he gonna have his way. Look at Abraham. Abraham pulled up with Hagar, and what happened? Ishmael. Bam! Get out of here. He's not in the promise. Not even in the kingdom. Not even in the bloodline. See, y'all want to run around here and y'all want to think just because Jacob had 12, we all going to pull up in the kingdom. Oh, baby, you got that bet. Because if we pull up, all of us pull up when Abraham's son, Ishmael, pull on up. It ain't going to be like that, y'all. Because y'all has a will and a permissive will. You all didn't forsaken him as if he's not the power and he's not the authority. Or he ain't got no righteous, no upright in him. But we got it all. We can tell it like it is. You can't tell nothing like it is. You ain't never had it like it is. We didn't reject his power way back in Genesis 1 and 2. We didn't even know that was his power. That was connected to his word. And that his word is connected to his power. The word can't have no dominion if the power don't back it up. If the word says, do this, Jacob, or do this here, Abraham, or do this, the power gonna back it up. Abraham went up there to do what? To take his son's life. Who went up with Abraham? The power. Next thing you know what? We saw a ram in the bush. How did that ram get in that bush? Power pulled up. That's why when y'all speak, his power is right next to the word. And every word he speaks, his power is right next to it. And this is what I say to y'all. 400 years is a long time for us to not even recognize that he got this. He got this. He had it. And we have not turned none of it back over to him. He said, well, Father, forgive us. We had it wrong, Father. Y'all. You always was all power. You always was the greatest. You always was the excellent one. You the wonderful one. You the powerful one. You is the word, Father. Oh, no. We the people. We the Hebrew Israelite. We the true Jews. You the true fool. Because when it all said and done, it's not what a man is on the outside. It's who he belonged to on the inside. He told Satan that in Genesis 3 and 15. I'm going to pull up with two seeds. One I'm going to give to you and one I'm going to give to me. And he's not talking about like one in oneness. He's letting him know he is going to be his and mine is going to be mine. And I'm going to put intimacy there. So you will hate mine and mine's going to hate your sin, your wickedness, your evil. But you're going to hate my righteous that's going to be in mine. And see, the people thought he was talking about Mary having the Messiah. No, baby. He was speaking this way in Genesis. This was way back in the beginning when he stepped on Satan's head, letting him know, you ain't poured nothing with Adam and Eve. I gave them to you because they were yours anyway. They are your serpent seed. But you ain't poured nothing. I'm going to give you some more. You're going to have your seeds and I'm going to have mine. Yours going to be always after mine and mine's going to be crushing your head, meaning your plans, your thought patterns going to get crushed by mine. You see, he wasn't even recognized then. He done laid the whole foundation of the whole world in Genesis 3 and 15. Letting you know two seeds pulling up, y'all. Two kinds going to pull up. One going to be the serpent seed and one going to be the spiritual seed of y'all. That's who going to rule in the world. And we sitting here. It's all about us. Oh, we the true Jews. You're a Jew as a word. You're a Hebrew Israelite as a word. What are you in the spirit realm? Are you the spiritual Israel? Because that's all he coming for. He already gave Abraham the promise when Joshua pulled up and brought him into the promised land. He fulfilled it. And the other promise was in the vision. And then the promise that was in the dream was the promise for the land. He fulfilled that. Josh pulled up with the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah. Land floating with milk and honey. But now we got to get to the promise in the vision. That's eternal. The bloodline of the spirit of Abraham. That's what he's coming for. So people, understand, you got to make it make sense. Why? Because we got a long journey, y'all. It ain't going to be pretty. And if you're going to continue this walk and you want to continue in your might and the might of the flesh of men and women, you go right ahead. You go right ahead. Good luck. Because it ain't going to be no good and ain't going to be no luck detached to you. And you got this, what happens, you got to feel that thing. You got to see it. And when you feel it and you see it, it's too late anyway. Because when it was before you, you didn't have no idea about who ruled it all. It's not about us. Flesh is our worst enemy, our own flesh. That's why he tells us we don't fight against flesh and blood, you guys. You know what he said? I ain't gonna rumble with that flesh, y'all. Catch me on the other side on spirit. You got to fight on your hand. That's what he said. You fight not against flesh and blood, but principality in high places. He ain't giving no Satan no. What creator that created all things gonna give Satan the glory time at all? Principality in high places. Come on, bring Satan on down to the ground. I will, because that's not what he's saying. Principality in high places is meaning in position on this earth, in positions, high positions, not high authority. Praise the mighty God. They had it wrong again, Father, y'all. Principality in high positions. And we can now all agree. Some people call these high positions Illuminati. Baby, you sick. There is about a good 100 or 200 people that's the power punch on the four corners of this whole world. They rule. That's the principality he's talking about. He kind of getting us an insight of, you know what he was doing? He was trying to let us understand Satan crew. He was trying to tell us, well, see, Satan crew, he comes to deceive the whole world, Deborah. So he got his little crew out here, and I was trying to let minds know that you're not fighting against flesh and blood, baby. You're fighting against principality in high positions, not high above. Oh no, y'all say ain't no angels above falling from nowhere. He said, I'm down in Revelation pulling them up from the pit. Who's going to tell me that I'm pulling them up from the pit to do my tribulation, and you're going to tell me Satan coming down from the heaven? Where is that coming from? Satan crew coming from the heaven. I'm pulling them from the pit. What kind of rats behind is that? You see how the mindset is messed up? It's gone. It's gone. It's no hope for it. It's gone. It's finished. It makes sense why he say it's finished. Because their mindset is gone. Think about that. Think about that. We got fallen angels falling. We got aliens and giants right here in this day. Why didn't Yeshua pull up with that? Hey, Peter. Hey, Peter. James. Hey, Solomon. What about you? Did you know anything about this? Come on now. Somebody talk to me. Name one of them. Pull it up and tell you. In that day, there are going to be fallen angels and giants. He ain't said nothing like that. What's going on is principality in high places. He has given them the ability to master some things. And they have mastered it to make you fearful of it. But he gave them the opportunity too. That's how they can clone. That's how they living longer. They got everywhere you go, they got all these here blood banks in every Negro neighborhood on the four corners. And we giving them our blood, and they making more of what we are and living off of it. And skipping sickness and all kind of things. They've been doing that for the longest. They park that stuff over in our neighborhood and we run into it to give them who we are. That's how soft and easy our mindset is to be wicked. We do everything they say against one another and to each other. That's why these devil platforms is set up. I sit back and I say, wait a minute, hold up a minute. When I first started, I wasn't on this here platform with all the Hebrew Israelites. Now they got me on there. I said, but when I started, hey, let me tell y'all something. It was fun. It was so much fun. These heathens were on my page, and one said, my boss told me to look at your page and hear what you said, and that's wrong for you to say. I was like, why? This one man from Iran said, wait a minute, you're a false prophet. He was saying all these things, and this other man from Iran said, oh no, she's a true prophet. I know she sound like one of them Hebrew Israelites, but she ain't a Hebrew Israelite. And this sister came up, why are y'all on her page? These people used to argue and fuss when I get on. They used to argue and fuss when I get on. And I like that. I like that because it was people from everywhere on the four corners, arguing and fussing. These heathens and Gentiles, these Europeans, they was on there fussing. Yeah, my boss told me to listen to what you were saying, and you wrong about that. And I have something to say. So you say what you want to say. This one sister pulled up. She said, wait a minute, hold up. Why are y'all on her page? But this one man in Iran told, he was in Iran. He told this other man that's in Iran, he told him, no, she's a true prophet. I know it looks like she's one of the Hebrew Israelites, but I think she's a true prophet. And I thought that was really far out for him to tell him that, because one thing y'all don't know, y'all Hebrew Israelite, y'all don't know those that y'all is sending among you. That's why I know you cuckoo clock, because you will believe the lies about all this stuff. But when it come down to giving the Most High the glory and the honor, you won't believe the person is giving the recognition to the Father. You rather believe the ones that's giving you recognition, getting you to recognize them in their page and what they talking about, so that you'll match it in the flesh. See, if you match in the flesh, you can't match in the spirit. There's no room. There's no space. Because once you train yourself to match what somebody's saying in the flesh, you are lost in the spirit. That's how they get them to go through the broad gate. It's through the flesh. Oh, I like what they said. I'm going to keep watching them. Oh, that's true. That's true. In the flesh. Pull up in the spirit. And you're going to look silly. Because you ain't going to have no spirit and truth. You ain't going to have no light. You're going to just be walking around here looking for more darkness for your flesh. You're just going to be out there. And seems like this is where people want to be. And it's okay, y'all. It's okay. It's going to be all right. I was telling someone today, I said, ooh, feel like it's just getting closer and closer. What's going on? I'm feeling this time. And you know what? I'm going to be honest. In the flesh, it don't feel good. But in the spirit, you be like, oh, yeah, I got you now. I see where we're going. But flesh be like, but I see where you're going, Father. Yeah, I'm with you, Father. You know, because it's so much happening and nobody's paying attention to it. When they turned around and gave those people that was some. Did y'all know that was a DNA being put into them people? They were putting a DNA, some type of creature or some type of whatever in their DNA. Now the people are choosing to cremate their family members. Why? Because that DNA that was given to them it is clogging their arteries to where they can't embalm them. It's causing more money because now they got to go through each vein to pull all them things that's coming out. And when you see what they look like, long things, y'all, where is that in the body? And it's making the scientists and the doctors and those who have gotten away from the country. And when I said from the United States system, and they're trying to do a study and trying to figure out how could this country be able to master something like this? They can't steal mentally. They can't even handle it. They can't handle it. I think they will be the first ones to step up to the plate to fight their own country. These doctors and these scientists, oh yes. Not these ones that doing their study, and they've been doing it ever since this pandemic started. Oh, they said, no, something wrong with this. And now they realize they trying to say that now they ain't trying it. They said that it's something this country did. They believe that China was added into it, but they know it's something that they did to their own people. And I'm like saying, I'm show you how I'm different. Because while they sitting here saying they finding out what their system of their country has been and what was doing, I'm like saying, but Father, they didn't see what was going on in 2004, 2008, 2011, when their own country did that trade center, did they? They didn't see all that, did they? They didn't see when they foreclosed on everybody's house in this country, did they? They didn't see that either, did they? See, they've been doing stuff way before, y'all, before this pandemic. The plan was, okay, what we're going to do to know we are getting the victory, let's shut them down and reboot everything up. And that's what they did. When they were telling y'all, we're going to defund the police and we're going to shut this down. They shut everything to restore everything into a system, into the beast system. It's too late. It's too late. Everything is set up. It's already set up. You ain't going to win if you try. You ain't going to get out of this if you try. That's why I tell y'all, this battle ain't for your flesh. If your spirit ain't detached to the spirit of the Ruach of the Creator, you just out there playing a game. You at a circus, acting like a clown, because you getting on these platforms thinking you know it and you got it and you know this and you know this, you go right ahead. It's no win in it. And you're going to find that out. You're going to find that out. Now, this is what else I'm hearing now, is they are taking the elders up out of here. I will say this. When I see them coming up, now listen to this. It don't make sense, y'all. They coming up with these dentures for elders. How you gonna give an 80-year-old man some dentures? Implants. They're not dentures, they're implants. Where they taking these screws and put them in your mouth and put something wrong with that, y'all. That ain't right. Don't go get nobody. Don't go, even you. Don't get it. Don't get it. Something's wrong with it. Something's wrong. Something wrong somewhere. And when I saw this Oriental lady at this here nail shop, I saw her do something. She put her mask on, but she put two Kleenex inside of the mask and then put her mask on. And I was like, just those little blue ones that you put on. I said, what is she doing? See, the moment we was detached to the shutdown back in 2021, everyone that was sending stuff over here for us to use was China. The mask and all that stuff was coming over here from China. All this stuff that they were telling us to use, alcohol and all this stuff. And I'm like saying, wow. I just realized during that time, during this pandemic time, I realized the United States is the dumbest country in the whole world. For them to allow all these things to take place, they think they're smart, but it shows that these white people is the dumbest people on the face of the earth. They are dumb. Because right now, they have pulled the curtains from behind them. Y'all haven't even noticed that, have you? Yes, they have pulled the curtains from behind them. They naked now. They naked. They putting everything in show. They telling everything. They were building many things. Now you wake up and you see on the news and you see on your phone, you see this black man doing this black man doing this black woman doing this black man doing this black man doing this. You see all that. You see that. It's a lot of that's going on. But guess who's overriding it? These white people. They killing like crazy. But then the Spirit told me, no, Deborah, it ain't that they killing like crazy. Their system pulled the curtains back so everybody can see them for who they are. Because the war has to come inside of this country. See, everybody looking for the war over in Russia and China, Ukraine, and Israel. Baby, please, the war is within this country. That's why they brought all of those people over here. Revelation chapter 18 and verse 2, a habitation of devils. Devils were already here. He's just letting you know the throwdown is already set. These people are coming over here to kill you. They're not coming over here for your money. That's how sick they got us believing. They're not coming to take what you got. They're coming to take your life. And yet you don't see it. But Revelation chapter 18 verse 2 tell you it so clear. They didn't pour in so many so many people from China. And these people is connected to a lot of gain and war. What's all that about? See, these heathens and these Gentiles, these Europeans, they think they got it made. They thought they had it made. And I'm going to tell you what they tell me. The European white men, they said, Miss Deborah, we and I've heard this several times. We ready. We ready. They telling me everything they got, what they got under the ground. And let me tell y'all something, y'all. They got a war underneath the ground. They didn't build these white people in this country. They got a military all over the United States. The white people. Even now, I ain't talking to skincare heads and the KKK. I'm talking about white people have prepared themselves for the battle. And this is what I told two of them. I told them, I said, but you know you ain't gonna win. And one thing I like about European men when they talk to me, they so honest. They so upfront. They are so honest and upfront. And you know what they said? They say, you know what? Miss Deborah, you're right. We know we ain't gonna win. But we're gonna fight until we die. See, Europeans already know there's gonna be a war. But they also know, according for us to have a war on the inside, as Matthew 24 and verse 7, nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom, we got to get rid of enough of these Negroes because that's where the battle going to be. That's where the battle is going to be. But now they see that they don't need to get rid of us. We're getting rid of ourselves and happy about it. Praising each other about it. They just poured in Alabama 3 women and 4 men tortured, raped, beat, tormented, and then shot her. I think they shot her in the head, a 20-year-old girl. And you see the charges they got on them. A mile long. And I'm like saying, woo-wee, they ain't gonna never get out. It's impossible for them to let them out. Even they charged the women for sodomy. 3 women, they look like what you call dykes. 4 men. And these men look like they under 40 years old. Why would y'all do that baby like that? 20 years old. Why would y'all do her like that? Why? And what they did is they charged them all across the board the same thing. Except for the one that pulled the trigger. I think they got more the trigger person. But they charged them with just like, they ain't none of them getting out. 7. And they thinking they got it made. Baby, the last place y'all want to go is in the prison. You don't want to even go to a jail. You don't want to go to a prison. You don't want to go to a church farm. You don't want to go there, y'all. That's my prayer for my father, for the father to keep my kids away from a prison because you ain't you're not gonna make it. You ain't gonna come out with the right man. Because what they doing in them prisons, What they doing in jail today is not what they did yesterday, baby. No, it's not what they did yesterday. You ain't gonna come in, you ain't gonna have a butt first and foremost. And the women, when I worked for the prison system, Annex, Gumbo, and Clayton. Clayton is the maximum. Annex and Gumbo is a men prison, but in Annex they had men and women prison on one side and one on the other. And I'm in here and I'm training them in the kitchen, and I'm like saying, wait a minute, hold up. I got the whole sheets of all these men and they crime. I said, wait a minute, what's wrong with the women? They here too. You know what they told me? They said the women so nasty and trifling, they're not allowed to be in the kitchen. And guess what? Throughout my time working, I realized those women too trifling. Woo-wee! And I understood what women do in the prison, y'all, is off the chain. I said, no way. I said, this is why, because I asked the warden, why is it they don't have women coming in the kitchen to train? And he began to tell me why. And I just said, no, they shouldn't have done them women like that. They should put women in. Oh, shoot. I was glad to have the men in the kitchen. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. When y'all is for you, can't nobody be against you. Nobody. I think of my silly tail. And I tell y'all over and over, Sister Deborah ain't got no sense. Sister Deborah ain't got no sense. But you catch me on that spirit of truth, I'll wipe you like a mop. I'll wipe you up like a mop on the floor with grease all spilled. I'll wipe you up. But I'm going to show you why I don't have no sense. Why would I go fill out an application to work in this place? I was 30 years old. Why didn't I have sense to be afraid of these people? You see, didn't I tell you? I didn't have no sense. I didn't have no sense, none whatsoever. Many places I went to work, I didn't have no sense. But the ruach that was in me carried all the sense because I didn't have none. And I'm like saying, wait a minute. Now I get up here to Clayton. This one blind 13-year-old girl, just a pretty little blind, little white girl. They had her shackled up and down. And I said, y'all ain't got no business having that baby shackled like that. They said, Deborah, she just killed her mama and her daddy. I'm like, what? You see, the things that, let me tell you what the guys there, the other chefs there, what they did. Here we are. I come to the Max prison system. I had to work there that Friday. It's okay. And they say, okay, this is the menu. So I'm thinking I'm throwing down. I like this. And these brothers standing around ain't telling me, hold up, Deborah, don't do that. Deborah, don't do that. They ain't saying nothing. I finished and did everything. I got the orders. I saw the sheets, whatever pan need to have on it and everything. And I had it going on. They said, now we're finna give you a tour. You know, those guys took me into prison. It was Max prison. And they say, see here, Deborah, you see all your trays? You see here? If we take this tray and put it into that cell, that's the order, right? I said, yeah. You got 2 men in there, right? I said, yes. He said, you see this here? I said, what is it? But that's what he wanted. But Deborah, you put this on there, that man that's in there that don't want pork in his cell, we'll kill that one that got that pork on there. You can't do it. So how are you supposed to know? He said, you set up the trays as a death trap. Now, how would I supposed to know? You're not allowed to put pork on the trays. They said, you put anything on them trays, them men gonna be dead. They gonna have so many dead men in that prison system. I said, y'all need y'all tails. Y'all should have told me. But they said they was wanting to school me. See, they wanted to school me on it. They said pork is not allowed in maximum. When you come up in there with that stuff, anybody in the next cell will kill a one in one cell. Y'all tell them, don't let me do it and then tell me last. So I'm just saying to you all, I was always placed in an environment where it's the multitude of people. You know, I never went to a place to work where I wasn't dealing with the multitude. I've worked in many jobs where I was the only female there. And it's just the ideal of, they said, now, they gave me a list. They said, now, see, these guys are going to be trying to sneak the oranges out. They're going to be trying to sneak knives out. And I remember, hey, let me tell you something, y'all. I had 3 hardcore ones in there, and I looked them just in the eyes while I was sitting in the chair. And we was in the office, and we was sitting in the chair. We was just talking and just talking. I said, I wish ain't one of you would take something out of here while you on my time. I wish you would. I wish you would. And I used to just breathe threats. And you know what? I'm going to tell y'all something. It ain't my threats and me. It was y'all always with me. I told you this creator been dealing with me since I was 4. I never understood. Let me tell y'all something. I never in my life understood why the whole elementary was afraid of me. By the time I got to high school, everybody was afraid of me. And I did not like that feeling, y'all. That was not a good feeling, y'all. I lived my whole life with people being afraid. And I didn't do anything. I couldn't understand that. Here I come up, pulling up 53 years old and start to ask the Father, what's going on? Why everybody afraid of me? He said, I got a hedge around you. I said, what? I got a hedge around you. They better be. I said, Father, I went to elementary school, kindergarten, all the way up, and people was afraid of me, and I didn't want them afraid of me. When Deborah, I had a hedge around you. And let me tell y'all something. Like I said, I went to that prison, and I know I didn't have no business going up in that place, talking about filling an application to be in a men's prison. Come on. But you know what? I have no problem. I had one problem, and that was the European female guard. She didn't like how I carried, in a sense. She thought she was tough daddy. And she thought she was big time, you know. She didn't like, she gave me a hard time. But I tell you what, I remember this one man. He was every bit of probably 6'5", every bit of 400 and something pound, dark skinned, black, heavy man. And I had the guys to fix chocolate cake. And they put the trays all up on the top and everything. So it happened, this big old dude came and he said, well, okay, you're supposed to get the first tray in line. Now he gonna come down here to the 5th tray. I said, put that tray down. Get your hand off that tray. Leave that tray alone. You get that first tray. You know the rules. Oh, no, I'm on this one. Now, he big and tough. All of a sudden, this little skinny man, dark-skinned, skinny man, can't weigh no more than 110 pounds. They call him Kinlock. Kinlock said, what did Miss Deborah say? Put the tray down. That big 6'5", every bit of 400 some pound look went to get the first tray. Kinlock said, you ain't getting nothing to eat today. I'm like, said, next time Miss Deborah tell you to get the first tray, you get the first tray. So today you don't eat. I was like, wow. Kinlock was running the prison. I'm telling you, some crazy stuff was going on, you know, but I liked it that. I learned a lot. Many days I left there crying. I left the prison crying because I was trying to figure out what was I there for. I wanted the Father to tell me what was my purpose there. I didn't go in there with the fear. I guess I was just that silly. I ain't had no sense. I didn't have no sense how to be fearful and afraid of somebody or scared of somebody. Even though I am, but even to today, I can't understand why it never affected me to be fearful of anybody or scared. Maybe because everybody always was scared of me. But I was that would give anybody anything, do anything for someone, help anybody. I was that giver. I was that nice, but everybody said you were so mean. I said, well, what did I do to make you think I was mean? They said, we don't know. I said, that's that hedge around me that the Father told me. But the Father didn't tell me until I was 53 years old. I had a hedge around me. So I'm going to tell you something. When y'all got a hedge around you, let me tell you something. Everybody got to bow down. In a sense, meaning get out the way. Because y'all can have a hedge around you And no matter what, it ain't got nothing to do with you. It got to do with what is around you. Mess with her. Step up if you want to. Because that's what he told me. And I said, all those years, Father, I was in elementary. I was in high school. Even my family and everybody. Everybody's afraid of me. And I just couldn't piece that thing together. I just couldn't understand it. 53 years old. And I was crying, y'all. I was on the floor crying because I was telling the Father I couldn't understand what was going on. Why was that happening? Why was that so? What was wrong? What was wrong with me that make people afraid? Why can't people, they see I'm giving, I'm trustworthy, I'm nice, and but they say I'm mean. And I'm trying to figure out, how can I be mean? They say, you look mean. You look mean. See, what it was that hedge that I didn't even know I had. But when I go back and I look back over my life, nobody bothered me. Nobody bothered me. I had 6 siblings, and they were older than I was, and one was younger than I was. I had 2 brothers and 4 sisters. But guess what? Any issue I had, I dealt with it. I didn't go get my sisters and my brothers. You know why? No one bothered me. So I dealt my situation. Any situation I thought I had or I felt I had, I dealt with it. I didn't go get family and friends and none of that. I handled my business when I was young. But you know what? The more I think about it, I can pretty much pinpoint my life and see in that hedge because people was afraid. Males and females was afraid. Even to today, I went to what you call a class reunion for when we was in elementary. Then I went to the one when we was in high school. First thing they said, oh no, here she come. That's that mean lady. And I told her, I said, look here, you don't know me. You was mean. The guy said, well, we always had a crush on you. Oh no, I had a crush on her too. She was so mean. Then you ask him, well, what made me mean? Did you know, y'all, they couldn't even answer? That bothers me, even to today. How can you say that I was so mean, but you can't tell the people, what did I do? Was I fighting? They can't even tell you anything. And I love that because I got on the plane to go back to Georgia. And the father said, you see how you asked him? They knew not. I would say, but that's sad. They quick to say that. But when you ask them, they can't answer. So the father finally told me at 53, I had a hedge around me. So that's what it was all about, that hedge. So anybody in the live chat, if you have any questions about the topic we were talking about, understanding that the church is not the building, the church is not the house of Israel and the house of Judah. The church, the house of Yah is the church that's up under the body of Hamashiach. Okay. Now, what he's going to pull out of Israel and Judah is the spiritual Israel and the spiritual Judah, which he spoke to Abraham in the vision. He already fulfilled what he spoke to Abraham in the dream about the promised land. You see, he fulfilled that. He even fulfilled the 400 years of us coming over here. He fulfilled that. He gave the promised land to Israel because Joshua brought them in. You see what I'm saying? So he don't owe no promise again of the land, but he owed the promise of the spiritual land, Mount Zion. It's going to be holy. It's a spiritual. It's going to be turned into, it's going to be a spiritual land. Okay? For the spiritual Israel and the spiritual Judah. That's what it's going to be. But he's not coming to get the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah and the house of Judah. He's coming to get the spiritual Israel out of the house of Israel. He's coming to get the spiritual Judah out of the house of Judah. You get what I'm saying? That's why he's going to put that new thing in them. He's not talking about the whole house. He's not talking about the whole Judah. No, he only talking about the spiritual Judah, like unto Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. They were the spiritual seed. So he's just coming and get the spiritual ones. See, a lot of us don't understand that. Many of us don't understand that we are some really chosen individuals. It's not so much as who we are on the outside, it's who we chosen to be in Yah from the inside. And that's why people are so confused with really who they are. Because they're trying to look the role, act the role, talk the role, walk the role, feel the role that man says that identify you as the elect of Yah. No, He only elect his from the inside, not the outside. That's why I say, if you're on the outside serving the world and you're trying to warn the world and you're trying to justify, clarify, identify to the world, even who you are of the world. See, we should be trying to tell people who they are in the body of Hamashiach, not so much as who they are in the world. The world take care of its own, don't y'all think? Don't you see how the world is taking care of and feeding themselves? So why should Yah have his out here feeding the world? Why should Yah have his out here warning the world? But what about the body of Hamashiach? And why ain't nobody over here? Why ain't nobody over here to the body of Hamashiach? Warning the body of Hamashiach about what's the next move of the Most High Yah. Why ain't nobody warning the body of Hamashiach of things in spirit and truth? Why ain't nobody showing the light to the body of Hamashiach? It ain't like that you can take them out and put them in. They in there already. Nothing you can do about it. They're in the body of Hamashiach. They in there. But at least they want food too. They want to see the light. They want to carry the light. They want to walk in spirit and truth. Why? Because they still on the earth, y'all. We're still in human bodies. We need each other more than we think. What bothers me is I'm trying to, and I guess I'm sure he would reveal it to me, because I would like to know, how is it we going to be united in the kingdom and in the new in Mount Zion, and we don't have no dealings down here now? That's what's confusing to me. We're not trying to support each other or unite with each other or come into one unity down here. To me, there's something wrong with that. You know, want me to tell you why something wrong with that? What's the sense of having the body of Hamashiach, all that power, when there's no unity in that? I mean, we don't need no unity in the flesh, but I think if Satan got his unified, and they cutting up from the floor up, they serving the world, they manifesting everything in the world. What's wrong with us? We the body of Hamashiach. Why ain't we doing nothing? Why ain't we rolling up? Why ain't we rolling up with each other? Why ain't we doing for each other? Why ain't we teaching each other? Why ain't we giving the Father the glory, the honor together? Why ain't we manifesting his greatness, his excellence? Why ain't we doing those things? Why are we just walking around like we clowns too? And that bothers me, because I'm like saying, now, Father, that seems like that's messed up from the floor up. Because if you got yours over here in the body of Hamashiach, which is the church and the saints, and the world is over here, we know that the world is the majority. Okay, but where are we at over here, Father? Why ain't we doing what we're supposed to do? Why ain't we? I mean, hold up, Father, y'all. This is the body of Hamashiach. The right-hand power is in this. What's going on? See, that's what confuses me. Only thing that kind of helped me in that is when he said, Deborah, what did I tell you? Didn't I tell you that gate was narrow? That's what helped me to run on. The more he tells me about that gate being narrow, the more he tells me very few shall find the way, Deborah. Few shall find the way. Because they're so in tune with the way of the world that they cannot and will not search for the light in spirit and in truth. But that's something he's going to have to deal with me on, if it be his will. And it's his desire for me to know that. Because that to me, that's the part that's real confusing. Because I'm like saying, well, maybe it ain't meant This must need be. Because if you think about it, this is the reason why he's coming for his. And that's why he said he's going to clean their nasty tails up. Because they're not going to be right down here with each other. So that's why I told you. Didn't I tell you I was going to give him a new heart, Deborah? Didn't I tell you I was going to get him a new mind? Didn't I tell you I was going to give him a heart of flesh as well? Didn't I tell you I was going to put my spirit in him? Didn't I tell you I was going to clean their filthiness? Deborah, didn't I tell you I was going to do all of this? So this is what you're dealing with, Deborah, until I do what I say I'm going to do. But Deborah, don't forget. What did I tell you I'm going to do it at? Where did I tell you I'm going to do this? When I start to clean their butts up, where I'm going to go? When I'm going to do it? I told you when I get them over to holy, the promised land. That's when I'm going to clean them up. So we are looking for stuff, and that's going back to me. I'm looking for a people that's in the body of Hamashiach. And that's only the job of the Most High Yah, to collect the body of Hamashiach, not Sister Deborah. Because in my mind, why we together, so we are knowing you, we be together waiting for you. No. They ain't going to be no different than nobody else, Deborah. That's why all that cleaning is going to be needed to clean them up. So I, Sister Deborah, say, I hear my pit bull out there. I want to sound like somebody coming up on the fence. I had to get on this here European man. He had this big old dog, some type of, I don't know what kind of dog it was, up on the fence. I said, why your dog loose like that? Coming up on somebody's property like that. Oh, he got out of the house and he ran. I had to come. It didn't look like he was trying to move his dog. That's what bothered me. You hear my dog barking, you better get to running. You better get to moving. And you know what, y'all? Do y'all know when I finished saying that to that man, instant, I felt convicted. I felt convicted because what he did was totally wrong. But I felt convicted based on the way that I react. I'm like, okay, he's all the way up to the back fence with his dog. Why ain't you trying to move your dog away from the fence? Because my dog is barking and y'all up on my fence. First thing I did, my reaction, I told y'all I don't have sense. I told you I don't have no sense. If it wasn't for the grace of the Most High Yah, no telling where I'd be. Because I don't have sense. I get out to the door and I'm looking, I'm like, wait a minute, this man all the way into my backyard. I mean, the fence at the backyard. This is the fence. His dog right here up on the fence. He ain't moving the dog off the fence. My dog is right here on this side. His dog is up on the fence and he up on the fence. Why ain't y'all trying to get away from the fence? You're stirring up my dog. Why ain't you trying to get your dog off the property? It's a big yard. Why ain't you trying to get the dog off the property? Because you want your dog to stir up something. I didn't say that to him, but I said, hey, what's the problem? What's the problem? Why would you let your dog come up on somebody's property like that? Oh, I'm sorry. He got out of the house and we didn't know where he was. He got out of the house. And in my mind, I'm saying, well, wait a minute, you ain't still getting off the fence. You still over there at my dog. It didn't make sense to me. Well, I'm sorry. And a van came and he put the dog in the van. But what bothered me was you found your dog. You got your hand on your dog. You got his collar. Get off the fence. I didn't say it like that, y'all, but I'm just in my mind. But when I came in the house, I sat down and I sat there and I said, now, why would he let his dog go? And then I felt convicted. I felt totally convicted. He said, Deborah, did it take all that? Did it really take all that? It really didn't. But the reaction, you hear that pit bull barking, and it's like, it's nonstop. And it's like somebody coming up on him. And I just rushed out to open the door and see this big old dog, way bigger than he is, but he up on the fence. So my reaction was, hey, why are you letting your dog coming this close up on somebody's property like that? He up on the fence. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He got out of the house and we couldn't find him. But you still letting him on the fence. Let me get off of here, y'all. That's how silly Sister Deborah is. She ain't got no sense. Catch me on the other side in spirit and truth. I'll wipe you up with a mop in spirit and in truth. I, Sister Deborah, appreciate each and every last one of you all in the live chat. And I will say that I will be back with Make It Make Sense in spirit and in truth. Make it make sense in spirit and truth. You can talk all day and all night, but until you wind that thing up in spirit and in truth, you lost with the cause and without one. So I, Sister Deborah, say unto you all, shalom and shalom.